Welcome to World Update on the Persecuted Church with Release International. Coming up in this edition,
the Hindu mob threatened us, saying that India belongs to Hindus. Christians do not belong here. They warned us that if we rebuilt the churches, they would kill us. They would break our body into pieces, just like they broke our church into pieces.
A year ago, the court convicted my husband of blasphemy against the Prophet Muhammad and gave him the death sentence.
The headlines: violence against Christians in Orissa, India is spreading to other states. Iran plans to execute Muslims who change their religion. And serving the Christians in Pakistan accused of blasphemy. But first, it's been described as the worst ever attack on Christians in India. At least 56 people are being killed and up to 70,000 forced to flee their homes as riots against Christians rock Orissa. And those riots are spreading to Karnataka, Kerala and other states. And tension is even rising in the capital, New Delhi. In what some observers are calling ethnic cleansing, right-wing Hindus are attacking Christians and burning their homes, businesses, churches and even orphanages. A mob burned a young woman alive as she tried to protect the children in one orphanage. The violence erupted after Maoist guerrillas killed a prominent Hindu leader and 4 of his disciples. Even though the communists claimed responsibility, Hindu extremists say Christians killed their leader because he opposed Hindus converting to Christianity. Now those militants are forcibly reconverting Christians to Hinduism under threat of death. Tensions have been simmering for some time as many so-called untouchables, the Dalits, turn to Christianity. CBN's George Thomas reports on the background to the violence.
The Hindu mob threatened us, saying that India belongs to Hindus. Christians do not belong here. They warned us that if we rebuilt the churches, they would kill us. They would break our body into pieces, just like they broke our church into pieces.
Do you think that there's going to be more violence in Kandhamal?
The man whose group is suspected of taking part in the attacks tells CBN News that peace will come only when Christians in India stop proselytizing. Bajrang Dal and other radical groups are trying to turn India into a Hindu nation, what many people would even call a fundamentalist state.
The goal of the Hindu radicals is to destroy India's reputation as a secular and pluralistic democracy and replace it with an explicitly Hindu identity.
Ram Madhav is a spokesman for the RSS, a right-wing Hindu supremacist outfit. His group claims that Hindus are the original creators of Indian culture and that they are descendants from an Aryan race. All others are aliens or invaders.
He may be a Muslim, he may be a Christian, he may be a Jew. Similarly, India belongs to Hindus. It's a Hindustan.
These and other extremist views form their ideology known as Hindutva.
Hindutva ideology is basically fascist, that propagates one nation, one language, one people, one caste, one religion.
While the number of people who subscribe to the Hindutva ideology is relatively small, their influence and popularity are growing in Indian society. And they're especially angry that Indian Christians and foreign missionaries are sharing the gospel with lower caste Hindus known as untouchables or Dalits. Dalits make up 1/5 of India's 1 billion plus population. They live on the margins of society and are often considered by Hindus as less than human. But a growing number of them are turning to Christianity.
On arrival of Christianity, as they start loving God, they have been treated like human beings by Christians, which is unacceptable to the higher caste people.
Their conversions aren't without a cost. Indian newspapers and human rights groups document the almost daily attacks against Dalits and other Christians.
We are asking the Lord to give us more boldness, to give us the strength to bear His name, and to stand strong in the face of terrible persecution.
Analysts warn that unless these radical Hindu groups are reined in, violence against Christians will continue.
George Thomas reporting. Please pray for Christians in India who are reaching out to the outcasts of society, and pray for those Dalits, those so-called untouchables, that they will be touched with the gospel and will stand firm in their faith. The Iranian parliament believes Muslims who change their faith should be put to death. They've voted overwhelmingly for a new law to execute Muslims who convert to another religion. Releasers produced the following 1-minute viral video to raise awareness of their plight. The Iranian parliament believes Muslims who leave the Islamic faith should be killed. They've voted for the death penalty for apostasy, so concern is growing for Muslims who change their faith. Arash and Mahmoud have just been released after EU pressure, but Iran is cracking down against Christians. Christianity is spreading. They can't understand it. They can't control it. So they arrested Ramtin Soodmand. His father was Pastor Hussein Soodmand. They hanged him in 1990 for leaving Islam. Since then, 6 Protestant pastors have been assassinated by unknown killers. They also arrested Shaheen Zamburi as he was sharing his faith. Secret police broke his arm and leg. He says they hanged him from the ceiling and beat the soles of his feet to confess and name other Christians. Release has launched an appeal to help the Christians of Iran. Help us to help them. Contact Release International. The law demanding the death penalty for Muslims who change their faith now goes to the Legislative Commission. Pray that they will reject it. And please download this video from our website and send it out to your friends and contacts. The 16th is the International Day of Prayer for the Persecuted Church. Christians around the world will be praying for their brothers and sisters under pressure. Release has produced resources to help you do just that. Our focus is Pakistan, where Christians are being accused of blasphemy just to settle scores. Here's an extract from our new DVD, Pray for Pakistan.
A year ago, the court convicted my husband of blasphemy against the Prophet Muhammad and gave him the death sentence.
Sharing Life Ministry Pakistan is serving the Christian prisoners who are detained in the different jails innocently, and for their faith we are also serving their families. Here are many bad laws, but blasphemy law is very famous. Muslim can use it as a weapon to crush and kill the Christians. They don't have right to live freely.
A mob gathered and took my husband to the police station. And the police said, if you will agree, we'll torture him and then set him free. The mob said no, he's a blasphemer. I arrived at the police station with some Christian friends and I saw my husband being beaten with bamboo sticks.
If someone speaks against the Muslim, against Prophet Muhammad, he is a blasphemer. And his sentence is capital punishment, the death sentence.
A year ago, the court convicted my husband of blasphemy against the Prophet Muhammad and gave him the death sentence. Everyone left me, including my husband's family and my own family, leaving me no food and no money. I work at a leather polishing factory, and after a hard day's work I receive 100 rupees, which isn't even enough to feed my family for a day. Only Sahel is helping me, and even that is not enough to cover everything. Please pray that my husband will be released and come back to me and the family.
Please pray for Meena and the Christians in Pakistan, and remember Release Partners Sharing Life Ministry Pakistan.